competition itan bai employed the mangaita we took in HSC in Chumai in Waterloo car cut computing low the public speaking competition the information in beta the school the unit team high response to the game in Jumatalo 2 area soon we took in me feel big just didn't hey so from my taking the me long and Charlie till Charlie big thing or the and hun high and hun put up high the Ilai and Humpy long there we took him ages high in the election of Barsa the later that to Ilai to pay high to pay that I must have Joyce Sonate Amahi we get on a picture of the language Jun Florence Amahi Air India International cabin crew Nilai Baby Zodinta Amahi project coordinator leads to an RPCNA project coordinator Nilai we took in Alo filter do na essential competition it holding adan le to have information alo page long miru to we took in clear that ilai na competition to amuna competition na in prepare cha every thoa we sula hamai to in bel hai competition na kon video to le team play to anga every combo do gel in the lane ilai na so clear that Cuma jun competition suma time below in bed to the Sangwal from family zote. Mujungir Persina, Awani, it's a satisfaction what the system information security board na to I mechanic. Young need anything able to time here. The time pang my 5 minutes in Benita, extra time. 3 minutes then ay pang sa atin. Array 8 minutes and English po. Atubuy na ito iba na ay sulang atun fire site ng sulang to kaya palay ka yung sultada na kanil yung sulsada aso ilay mo na yung nato yung present ka. Ito sa ito so an ending bigay pekong talaga akan yung sulsada ng ita anong mga ito Sebagai tuin competition tak kayu cuman di HSC itu cuma kota presiden Uzefi Saibang sebelum mana hai film happy
maksudnya kita HSC sai biar sudah qualified jauh that's what ini ya ini hai logo masalah sih lah tujuan kompetisi lah ini competitor sai ko ino sa jang isin na himaben kan essay competition hi thima to big pop interior elemi group elemi pa tuda tum high school team ejo ang no san so high school asambu ngano bil to pa thang ma so high school high jo amni connective place nam de we topic tare kan level at ba chu ni ha tuda tum ne focus di ka ya Jun media di pang nyingi tambal Ronald Roland joke amal di question YouTube channel ni YouTube pa mi kan pek ami si pek ni le kan into the high kan record ang sarsa dengan talekan itu ni boy model lu sai tadi pun documentary ada boy model kan ni training ni le kan itu di high sana da Selection Nasional yang lihai popo di sana sangat anak jiwa itu dapat doa lomban nak kebaik nak berkobar ini sih dari itu ngai ini sih itu paling headquarter jen alom ini di kong sedari di sana sangat anak jiwa lomban
Uzefi Saibang Presiden HSC itu supaya saya border umum memang mereka cuma butuh itu lah chúng với xuân hình thì HSA khác cho đi program hiện chỗ thế mà HSA cho đi thì tăng voluntary organization non-political organization này với xuân hình đôi sai in financial aid support that chú lệ cho những program này ấy bằng thấy như thì khác thì với xuân đấy bộ mà chuẩn đôi sai cho họ cũng lâu thu em rất là bận với xuân hình mi song bali di competition là trong tình hình thì cũng thì Esther là tuổi sống thế Henry lần bình sang Johnson Emmanuel Wilson Glory R Uncle Kalitha Zarzong Moy Zungzo Zhao Jinglun Moy Lam Hoi Chan Cindy Jin Dai Jing Uniki Tabitha Esther Lam Kim Sang Ming Moy Pulam Te Ping Sang Wu Film Te Rafael Sandin ngay po hi ya ai ki mo tu ta vi nge shu la hai ka cho chang po college ai hi example ne la i khale ka an ti lo si ne ta ming sang lo film te le sang ming moy pulam te ha an ya angai ka example ne ne pro ne ti si ni ta chun na kyan ka ju pom chela i mane public speaking i ya competition ne le thong ai la ni le pro min i fel na do ko nok pe in thil lung chi point no tau sai na ya in en nu mani chu chu ilai in a point na chi en zo zo the ta mi ru chu so tau tau en ka chu i cha sai kan na ni ho ri pe ka si la ka lai chu an ni ren chang da na i marks ka mo pe ka na kan no thi ma ni si la til mi ba yo mi pa ba til the ni lo le kan ki ma ni point zo en zo hi nga zo kuna zo en zo te hai ka zo ei phal ding ani ti chu yang khre lo ne ro sa twin competition ei zo chan tu ma bi ru chu pakhat ba ka la ma ei ho to ai na tho me ka chu le zo ma ke ta toi ti với tu hình ta xác định của mấy câu hỏi ví dụ ấy ta xác định thầy cả thì lại một là anh mình để thầy nốt là exam duty nào là này cần thì ấy program nó nhìn ấy dùng nó nhìn thì cả vì cái sự thiên là là hình hiện được sao để nó sẽ ấy thua số là ấy thua trăm ấy đấy người chơi sẽ làm lại cái chỗ ấy chỉ team sinh ấy nó hiện tại tôi này học tuổi hàng sau từ sớm chú bọn ta thua một sự tình ta bọn ta này ta lại table up exercise mà in sinh những ta trong tim hai cả musuh kinh lai raining agulin này bật thì có agulin lại just president mang sĩ competition na thang ding po na kita may isu ng tayo musuh role di ba competition thang taro ro musuh wisen ta ka yung tang tan yung mga so hilay mo na chat ka thos ka apoy mo tani ngani lo man lang competition thang ding ay po sa na kan sewa hilay station dan ngani serial tung swing to cộng đồng này tại câu câu hỏi là in year cha kan introduction này phải là gì à in big college này khám sinh anh ấy này thì lại in introduction dấu cha tại một chân thì số khám sinh ta nói là gì in big Sia tu suy ai cũng bị tận bỏ hết phim cả thì bên này nghe rõ vậy cả chun tuin just hay chun tu man này đấy kun giúp sim vào đấy tu man này nó thì tuin sim được tu suy cái nói là chun operation này cái bên này nó sẽ
amasang nagatingin serial number 1 ako nagatingin ikaw mo sa.
A very good morning to honorable judges, well-wishers, and everyone present here. My name is Rafaela Sanin of Rayburn High School, and today I stand here to speak on United to End Violence Against Women. Violence against women, a critical issue that affects us regardless of our background, culture, or socio-economic statuses. Violence against women is a global pandemic, a crisis that 1 of 3 women face globally. According to the World Health Organization, it is a problem that transcends borders, cultures, and socio-economic boundaries. It is an issue that we must eradicate unitedly. In 2012, a 23-year-old student was raped in a moving bus in Delhi. The victim died 13 days later. The laws were, of course, stricken against rape and violence against women. However, it seemed to be effective because 2 years later, in 2014, a 17-year-old girl was kidnapped and raped in Uttar Pradesh. Ironically, she was forced to marry one of her rapists. Even in her recent years, if you look at 2023, when violence broke out in our very own state, women were paraded naked, stripped of their human rights in the cruelest, most inhumane way possible. To end this violence, our only solution is unity. So how can we solve these problems? First, we can educate and raise awareness. We can educate ourselves and others by educating ourselves about the causes and consequences of these actions, and also raise awareness on the importance of respect, consent, and equality. Second, we can support the victims, because mostly the society judge the victims, but these victims, they need our support mentally, health-wise, and also financially, because mostly when these girls face these violences, their future is usually destroyed. And thirdly, we must make sure those perpetrators are held accountable for their actions. Thirdly, we must join our hands together to create a world where women, girls, and every one of us can live without fear, violence, and discrimination. Women are strong in nature, but they can be stronger with our power. Thank you.
The Unite to End Violence Against Women initiative is a long years back that it was launched to protect women against violence. In 2008, the United Nations launched a campaign. Their aim is to protect women against violence. Good morning, everyone. I'm Gloria Afranco, pursuing my postdoc at Vigadona College. To protect violence against women, our fundamental rights can be directly claimed. Under the Constitution of India, Article 14 to 18, Article 14 directly says right to equality. Article 15.1 and 15.2 stand for prohibitions of discrimination among the citizens of India on the ground of sex, religion, place of birth, and so on. Let's leave that. To the victim, you're not alone. That is the message. You are not alone. Organizations like Women Empowerment has been set up for you. They are there to stand for you. They are here to stand for you, and they are there to stand for you. But my big question is, do you dare to step out? If you do not share your experience, and if you do not tell the people around you what you have gone through, how will they know? Even if they are always ready to unite for you, if they don't know what is going on, there is nowhere to help. And my message is that if you think by sharing what you experience, you ruin your reputation, your dignity, or even your family reputation, that is absolutely not true. Dignity can only be protected by claiming our rights. That is clearly provided by the Constitution of India. And the other thing is how to unite to end this. I strongly believe that a group of voice is louder than a single voice. If we all raise our voice in unity as one, the louder the voice is, the farther it reaches. So, if the voice is loud enough in unity, I believe the Parliament of India will be shaken, no doubt. And we particularly know what's going on in our area from last year, 12th May. The government is aware of what's in our area. Do they care? They don't. Can the reason be because our unity in voice is not loud enough? That is a reasonable question. And please allow me to conclude my speech by saying that husband, parents, friends, brother, let us communicate. Let's know each other. Let's know what's happening with the sisters in home, either outside society or wherever. Let's communicate. Let's learn. Let's help each other. The girl who's standing right here in front of you, I cannot say that nothing is going to happen to me in the future. No, I do not have any guarantee of that. Something may happen to me in the future. It may be outside the state, even in the inside the state itself. We witness what has happened. I don't even want to mention in particular. All things can happen to us. In the case, unity is strength, and that is highly stood. If we are united, our color will fly high, no doubt. So I'll say this. I have said this, and I'll say it again. A group of voices is louder than one single voice. The louder the voice is, the farther it goes. Let's stay in unity. Let's check the government. Thank you.
Good morning, respected judges and HSL members, participators, and the audience present here today. My name is Tabitha Malson Kimporde. I'm from Bethesda School of Nursing. Today I stand here to give a speech on the topic of Unite to End Violence Against Women. What do we understand or mean by Unite to End Violence Against Women? Is that it is a multi-year effort system to prevent and eliminate violence against women and girls around the world. Violence against women and girls around the world is one of the most widespread violations of human rights around the world. According to the study of WHO, 35% of women and girls have experienced physical or social violence. This initiative was launched in the year 2008 under the leadership of UN Secretary General, which was created to support the civil society led to 16 days of activism against gender-based violence around the world. The challenges faced by women these days or today is that in healthcare disparities, gender disparities in education, and child marriage dowry system, and even in media influence and stereotyping. It is important to end this violence against women because violence endanger the life of the women and girls and restrict their participation in economic and social life. The way to prevent from this violence is do not be a mute victim, speak out and refuse to be silent, be an individual, stand for yourself, and take all violence and abuse seriously. For the last point, I would like to say that remember, putting others down does not raise you up. To conclude my speech, I would like to share that when women are hurt, communities break, families break, and progress stop. So let us focus not only to the problem but to the situation. Let us break the silence and empower the victim to share their stories without the fear of judgment or stigma. It continues with education by teaching that both boys and girls that respect, empathy, and equality are non-negotiable. Together we can create a world where women are celebrated, not treated, supported, not silenced, and respected, not violated. Future without violence against women is possible if we start a campaign today, starting from our own home itself. Let us join the activism to eliminate violence against women so that women can live with equality, safety, and dignity. Thank you.
Serial number 4.
Serial number 4.
Serial number 5.
A very good morning to our esteemed guests, important personnel, my fellow participants, and everyone with us today. My name is Henry Sang from Sloman Christian Higher Secondary School, and today I will be speaking on the topic, Unite to End Violence Against Women. And also, I would like to thank the HSA and RUS today for providing me a platform to speak for empowerment of women. Women. What comes into your mind when I say the word woman? I believe you have thought of maybe your mother, your sister, or even yourself if you are one. Or maybe you have thought of resilience, strength, and all the powerful qualities a woman embodies. But you see, when I ask you this question, I want you to think not only about the powerful, the beautiful, all the qualities a woman provides for us, but instead, I want you to also think about the many females that have to go through violence, abuse every single day. Statistics have stated that 1 out of 3 women will go through violence at least once in their life. In numbers, that is 700 million women victims. Quite many, isn't it? Well, you see, this is the state of our society today. In this modern world, cases like this are still so prevalent. Cases left and right. A woman was killed, raped, and murdered in Kolkata. She was a doctor with a bright future. And even on our state, 2 women were paraded naked, stripping them of their honor, dignity, and stripping them of their basic human rights. Well, you see, it is quite saddening to hear that these cases are still so prevalent even today. If you think about it, maybe it have been your mother, your sister, or maybe even your most related friends also. Violence against women has deeply embedded itself in our society. Perpetrated by gender inequality, cultural norms, and toxic masculinity. It is still saddening to hear that women are still objectified. Women are still very, very marginalized even today in this society. The shocking thing about it is that the blame often shifts to the victims themselves. She would have left her. Her just was too short. Why was she out so late? Ignoring the fact that violence is never and will never be justified. Well, may I ask that question? What is a young man like you doing here, standing here, in front of everyone speaking for the women? Well, you see, I was a first-hand experience to violence against women. A person very significant to me was subjected to violence. It was not just the abuse. It was not just the scars. It was not just the hours and parents that we can see. It was about the trauma, the fear that she lived with every single day. That there was when I came to a realization that women, I should speak up for them. I should be standing beside them. And so I beg my fellow men to please shed the light on violence against women. See through the lens of the victims, the family members, everybody that has gone through violence. Violence today and the violence before. Maybe in the ancient times, women were disregarded. They were meant to they were meant to stay at home. It was because the men often go to the field. But times has changed. The world is now a feast-dominated society, where the men often goes to sleep. Women also dominate those fields nowadays. And so the term women belong to the kitchen is no more relevant. The fight to end violence is a shared responsibility that demands a collective action. We also have a role to play in ensuring that all women are uplifted, and prevented from violence. Let us now try to create a society where women feel free, where women don't live in fear anymore, where women are free from any sort of violence or any sort of marginalization. The time starts now. Let us stand together, unite, and speak up for the women and prevent the violence of women till day. Thank you.
Serial number 6.
Our conference, our respected judges, our honorable leaders, and my fellow advocates. My name is Esther Alongoy. I am from River High School, and I will be speaking on the theme, United to End Violence Against Women. When I say the word woman, what comes to your mind? Perhaps you would think of a mother, a sister, a daughter, a wife, or any familiar female figure. But have you stopped to think about her struggles, her aspirations, and her dreams? Have you given her an identity besides those roles? Have you offered a year when she needed it? Have you gave her a shoulder when she is going through her hard times? Throughout history, women have been subjected to systematic oppression, facing relentless struggles, their voices suppressed, and being stripped from certain rights. From discriminatory laws and social norms to unequal opportunities and representation, women have been denied their rightful place as equals. This entrance suppression has been perpetuated through cultural, social, and economic norms, and this can be further reflected in societal injustice and equality. Today, we stand at the forefront of a revolution that demands an end to the scourge of violence against women, a revolution that requires courage, resilience, and collective action. We gather in solidarity with the survivors, the victims, and the families who have been ravaged by the blows of violence.
We honor their stories, their struggles, and their unwavering determination to rise above the ashes. But we also gather with a sense of outrage, a sense of indignation, and a sense of urgency. For we know that violence against women is not just a women's issue, but a human's issue. It is a stain to our collective existence, a betrayal of our shared humanity, and a polarization of our basic human bond. To the survivors, I offer unwavering solidarity. Your residence is a testament of the indomitable human spirit. To perpetrators, I issue a clear call. Your actions will not be countenanced. To bystander, I implore, do not remain complicit in silence. We must coalesce as a collective, harnessing our agency to dismantle the architecture of oppression. We must promulgate policies, programs, and services that prioritize the safety, dignity, and empowerment of women. We know that violence against women takes many forms, such as physical, emotional, psychological, and economic. That it is perpetuated by social norms, cultural attitudes, and institutional attitudes. And we also are aware that it is exacerbated by poverty, inequality, and discrimination. And we also are aware that we have the power to change this narrative. We have the power to create a world where women and girls can live free from fear, free from violence, and be free to reach their full potential. So, let us unite in our quest for justice, equality, and human rights. Let us unite across borders, cultures, and ideologies. Let us unite in our determination to hold perpetrators accountable, to support survivors, and to challenge the systems and structures that perpetrate this violence. Let us remember that the struggle to end violence against women is not just a moral imperative, but a matter of human rights, social justice, and economic development. I urge that we march forward together with courage, conviction, and collective action. Let us create a world where every woman and girl can live with dignity, respect, and freedom from violence. Together, we can make this a reality. Together, we must. Thank you.
Studio number 7.
Good afternoon, esteemed judges, the members of the Bar Student Association, and all my fellow students who are present here today. I am Delta Lorenzo Moy from Bethesda College of Nursing. Firstly, I would like to thank the Almighty Father, the members of the Bar Student Association, and the rural women of the Upliftment Society for giving me the privilege and the chance to be here to talk on the theme, United to End Violence Against Women. So, firstly, let us say, what is violence, or what do we understand by violence? According to the World Health Organization, the WHO, violence can be defined as it is the intentional use of force or power against, it may be a person, a group, or a community. So violence may be any action that is made to hurt other people. It can lead to injury, distress, or emotional distress, or even death. So according to the United Nations, 1 in 3 women has undergone violence in their lifetime. And according to the United Nations, every minute, 10 minutes, a woman is killed. So today, I want to draw your attention to the alarming escalation of violence that is occurring against women in this world, and how we can unite to stop violence against women. When we say gender-based violence, particularly violence against women, is escalating in our country. Gender-based violence, especially, it is prevailing in every society around the world. Then gender-based violence is not only of physical violence, it may be also of mental violence, socio-economic violence, denial of resources, and the list goes on. So today, I want to raise awareness about how we should unite and how is it important to unite to end this violence against women. As the number of cases of violence against women are escalating, it is important to know that we should work together to end this violence. So when we say ending violence, what can I do to end violence? What can you do, or what can we together, united, what can we do? You may say, I'm just a person, what difference can I make? But these are the normal things that is in our head when we think about stopping violence. We do not need to wait for someone to be hurt or someone to be violent in order to make these differences. We can make these differences by doing small, genuine, and joyful actions like being kind, being polite, and showing compassion, especially to women and to our elders. So today, how can we unite to end this violence against women? I want to emphasize on four main important points. Firstly is to prevent violence. As the saying goes, prevention is better than cure. So first, we should prevent violence by raising awareness and educating the general public. It is important to raise awareness. Firstly, we should start in our homes. We should be able to raise awareness and educate the general public on what is violence, why is violence occurring, how can we stop this violence. Secondly, we should support services like the Rural Women Upliftment Society that are working very hard to stop these violences. The second is to make justice available to all. Justice, as we have all known, not only in the state, but even the central government. The central government and the state government are forgiving when it comes to violence. But we should make this violence, justice and law available to all, no matter what color, what caste, what creed, or what land we are from. Thirdly, empowerment of women. Empowerment of women is very important, and it's important to empower women. Gender equality is one of the main reasons why violence against women is occurring and is escalating. So let us empower our women, our mothers, our sisters, and all of our friends. Thirdly, as we have all known that the violence against women are escalating, we can start by doing these small steps. We can start by doing the small steps to prevent this violence from occurring. The more we speak about violence without shame and fear, the more we listen to the stories of victims, the more we will be able to normalize safety in our country. So let us work together to unite to create a safe environment for our women. Let us create a holistic environment for our women. Even though we are not sure about what will happen in the future, but we are believers, so let us have faith and hope in our Almighty Father and in ourselves, that united together, we can stop everything, we can do everything, including stopping violence against women. To conclude, I would like to quote my favorite scripture, Philippians 3:4-13, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Let us remember that we can do everything and anything with the help of our Almighty Father who gives us strength. Thank you.
Serial number 8.
Good afternoon to our respected judges and ladies and gentlemen present here. I myself, Cindy Chingishin Totan, representing Bethesda College of Nursing BSc First Sem. Today, as we gather here on the theme to unite and end violence against women. Every 30 seconds, women is subjected to violence. Every day, countless women suffer in silence. Their voices are being suppressed by fear and shame. Let's stand together to unite and break the barriers and confront the harsh reality that women against violence is not only women's issue, but human rights issue. Let's advocate and educate ourselves and others that women against violence is a violence that affects us all. And we have a lot of scope for violence against women. Like globally, 1 in 3 women is being violated, and in the US, 1 in 4 women is violated against domestic violence stated by NCADV. When we talk about FGM is a female genital mutilation, which is a harmful practice that it removes a partial or total removal of female genitalia, which is often practiced on young girls. As a cultural or traditional practice. When we talk about NCATV, it is the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence, which provides resources and support for the survivors of domestic violence. It is a leading organization where they support the victims and survivors of domestic violence and speak up for their rights. While NCATV also advocates for policy change, let's all come together and break the barriers and challenge the norms. To create a world where women can live free from fear and shame. To create a society that values and respects every woman's rights to equality, dignity, and dignity. Where every woman can thrive. Let's come together and connect or associate with local organizations to raise awareness against women against violence is not only a violence which is faced only in amongst us, but which is faced globally around the world. Let's create a world where women can live free to raise their voices against the violence which has occurred against them. Let's all come together and create a brighter future for all. Will you all join me in this journey?
Serial number 9.
Good afternoon, everyone, respected jurists, the organizing committee of this event, and to you all my fellow members. My name is TUIṭHAPHAI, and today I'm also here to share my thoughts regarding the theme Unite to End Violence Against Women. So what do we know about violence? The World Health Organization states that violence is the intentional use of physical force or power, threatened or actual, against oneself, another person, or against a group or a community that either results in or has a high likelihood of resulting in injury, death, psychological harm, maldevelopment, or deprivation. This means that violence can be of self-directed violence like suicide, collective violence like the present situation that we are facing right now, that is the conflict within the states, and it can be also interpersonal violence like violence between intimate partners. And what are the causes of this violence? First is poverty, alcoholism, stress, family environment, and
unequal distribution of power and resources between men and women. You might be wondering why I am saying all this. It's because in order to prevent and eliminate violence against women, we have to know the root cause of violence. So this initiative, Unite to End Violence Against Women, is launched in 2008 under the leadership of UN Secretary General, and it is 16 days of activism. So this is being held to prevent and eliminate violence against women and girls all around the world. Now the question is how? How do we prevent or eliminate this violence against women? There is a saying that family is the first socialization. It is the first institution where we learn all the manners, values, and ethics, right? So my point is, in order to eliminate and prevent this violence against women, family environment should come first. Suppose I'm going around spreading awareness to people or the concerned personnel, but if back at my home, if my family members or my siblings, if they always work among them, what will be the point of me giving awareness to others? So, a healthy family environment should be the topmost priority regarding this matter. And the next point is public awareness. In the context of Churchalpur, how far or how many awareness programs regarding this violence against women have been held? Hardly one or two or so per year. But is it effective? I don't think so. Because if it is effective, why would there be such cases? Even this year also, there are quite many of them, right? So, why don't we make use of this campaign, Unite to End Violence Against Women, which is 16 days of activism. And within these 16 days of activism, we can teach the concerned personnel regarding some of the laws or against women, like the prevention of women against domestic violence or immoral traffic prevention act. We can also make use of these 16 days of activism by pasting posters which include helpline numbers in every corner of the streets, so that if there is any problem occurring in anywhere, it will be the fastest way to report it. And we can also hold competitions like we are having today, so that we can share our ideas and thoughts regarding this matter. And specifically, we have to engage the men and youth in the fight to end violence against women. And my third point is prohibition of child marriage. In many places, we follow this child marriage. And even in our town, what do we usually do when there is such things? According to the customs, we will be holding some programs, and after that, okay, fine, they will be living together. And what happened after 2-3 months or after a few months? Since they are jobless, they will be having financial issues, and after that, obviously there will be stress and fight will occur, and which may lead to unwanted pregnancies, and it can further lead to abortion. So, therefore, child marriage should be prohibited. And my next point is, no drugs, alcohol, or tobacco should be sold to children under the age of 18. And my last point is equal distribution of resources and power between men and women. So I'd like to conclude by saying that it can be challenging to stop this violence against women, but we should unite and raise our voice together against violence of any type, no matter how big or small. Because the more the implementation, the lower the degree of violence. Thank you.
Serial number 10.
No one should ever live in a fear of violence. Every woman deserves respect, safety, and equality. Psalm number 38, verse 18. Just as this candle brings light into the darkness, let us bring hope and healing to those who are brokenhearted and crushed in spirit. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, respected judges and advocates for change. Today we gather here to address a pressing issue that has been going on in the world, violence against women. This is not just a woman's issue. It is a human rights issue. And we gather here to look into the crisis of these staggering statistics that has been going on in the violence that has been going on around the world. Have you ever wondered how many women face violence each day? Estimated globally, more than 960 million women receive, estimated more than 50,000 women receive sexual or physical violence in their lifetime. And about 1 in 3 women are killed every day by someone she knows or her partner or maybe someone else. And today we are here to address these issues. Women in our society face multiple challenges: discrimination, lack of education, lack of healthcare, or many other things. Let us explore into these problems and highlight so that we can endure together for those who suffer. Recently, there have been many problems regarding Manipur here in our state. Our sister from Zirbab district was killed. She was sexually assaulted. She was set on fire. I couldn't even imagine how painful it would be to experience burns or getting hit in the head. How would you feel? Do you ask yourself that? Why do we ask what women would have done differently instead of questioning why men chose to commit the violence themselves? According to studies, domestic violence is the leading cause of poverty. Let us take a look at the representations in our government. Parliamentary, about 26.5% of the parliamentary seats are held by women. Only 26%. And education disparities. About 950 million people worldwide are not educated and are illiterate. And 1/3 of them are women. Due to this illiteracy and not educated, unable to write, this significantly lessens women's potential and much more. Let us take a good example of a movement from the Rural Upliftment Movement Society. It is a non-profit organization founded here in TUIṭHAPHAI district, Manipur, India in 1990. It helps women in small business trades, providing financial assistance to women rights defenders. This initiative enhances trust within families and communities. While we talk about violence against women, men and boys are also important as allies. To go against toxic masculinity, to encourage others, their friends, and respect for women. How do we unite, you may ask? First, I would like to tell you by educating yourself and others, by going to workshops, by engaging with survivors, and listening and believing in their stories and respecting their choices. Speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves. Speak up speak up and judge fairly. Policy changes. We need stronger laws for women. I think there should be laws like stand for women, support women. Let us remember that violence against women requires more than awareness. It requires action, action from all of us. It is time for us to say no, no more. Violence against women is inevitable, but it is preventable. And we can prevent by uniting. Together we can make change. Together we can ensure a safer, more equitable place in the world to live in. Together we can make a world where equality and respect prevail. Let us unite to end violence against women now and forever. Thank you.
Serial number 11.
A very warm greetings to all the respected judges and audiences present here today. I am Esther Kim and I am currently studying in Bethesda School of Nursing. It is an honor to be standing here to be speaking on the topic Unite to End Violence Against Women. Firstly, I hope that we all know what violence means. Violence, if you don't know, is an act which is done intentionally or unintentionally, which is usually done to cause harm or injure someone. It may be an individual, a group, or a community. A violent act is usually targeting someone or maybe it may be due to discrimination. And violence is usually done against women because, to show power or authority over them. We have heard of many husbands beating their wives, maybe due to arguments in the littlest things possible. Violence is. We have also heard about acid attacks being done on some girls because of being rejected, and violence can also be cyber violence, like you are posting about someone's personal information, which is known as doxing, without their consent, and it usually is aimed to be embarrassing them or to be intimidating them or to cause them to have shame. You can also be threatening someone, maybe verbally, making them anxious or paranoid of everything, and they will have physical, mental illness, like trauma, anxiety, and sometimes violence can cause depression, and depression can also lead to suicide. A victim is not the only one which is affected when suicide is being done, because even their loved ones, maybe a family member or a friend, may be affected by it, and they will be blaming themselves as to why they weren't there to help them in their time of need. When you are usually a bystander on violence, it is like you are a new bystander, and then you're just watching them, the victim, and then if you heard that the victim is in media is suicided, that you will be blaming yourself too, because you'll be asking yourself as to why you could step in and raise your voice when you could have done that. Violence can be prevented when we do fundraising activities to help the victim, when we support women's empowerment, and maybe we can also know we must be good men in our fight to end violence. In some places also, we have also heard that in this conflict also that many women are being targeted, they are being raped or they are set ablaze, and the victim's family are also affected by it. Even we have heard in media that we are also affected by it because we can understand their hardships and their pains and their sufferings. Violence against women can also be due to gender inequality. Yes, it is true that in some places that many girls are paid the same with men, but sometimes girls are being seen and women are being seen as someone who are weak and fragile and delicate, and that we cannot do what men can do.
I think that it is time that we should set those words aside, as that just means that we are receiving life in the littlest manner, in the most darkest manner possible. Life should be about joining hands together to unite and create a sense of awareness, togetherness, so that we can have a fight to end it. It should be about helping and upbringing each other through the ups and downs, no matter the good and bad times. And lastly, to end my topic, then I would like to advise the victims of violence that you are not alone, that there are always someone, maybe a family member or a friend, someone, a trusted source, that are always willing to help you during your times of need. Thank you.
phase of ban announcement for skip the day. Price and the programs of any help in the day. You come down to the day. So the president had to take a step. The only person in jail also.
Serial number 12.
Good afternoon, everyone, respected judges, and everyone present here today. My name is Srimati Chipra, and I am honored to stand before you today to speak about a critical issue that affects us all: violence against women, and unite to end violence against women. As a student, I have witnessed the devastating impact of violence on individuals, families, and communities. Today, we gather to acknowledge the harsh reality that violence against women affects a lot of women. We can see in different places. We cannot exactly pinpoint the places where it happens, but it happens around the world in many places that women were being tortured, but they were not treated properly. We see in many remote places that husbands treated their own wife badly, but they don't have the rights to speak up because it happened within their own family. They are scared to speak up because they might bring down the family respect, they might bring down the family status down. And they have the fear. Their women boys were being suppressed by fear. They're being suppressed by being judged by others and discriminations. We can see in many places where women have been done bad things, but they don't have the rights because they're scared. Because when we can also see many people, women were being raped, but they do not speak up. Because when women were being raped, they don't have the guts or courage to stand up. Because people look down on them, what is being done on them. But what we can do is, we should listen to we should give time to women to speak up. We should listen to their voice. We should create a good space where women can speak out, where they can share their testimonies. And when we say about violence, it is not only about physical abuse. It also includes emotional manipulations, where women's enjoyment, where women excitement, where women's happiness were being under control. And also it systematically includes about the educations, how women were not given the opportunity about the health, about the educations. In many places we may see that women are not given much opportunity, whereas men have more opportunity for educations. And women have less opportunity for economic opportunities for internal jobs, and whereas men have more opportunities. Here we may see everyone equal, but there are some remote places where it is still going on. When it's in practice, women have less opportunities. Those are also comes under violence. Because violence doesn't mean only physical abuse. It also relates about emotional manipulations, economic opportunities. So to end this violence, what we can do is, the first step we can take is from our own home itself. There are many places, we can see in social media so many awareness were being given, but till today, nothing, no goodness, no effect is there, because we never put it to practice. We spread awareness many years ago. We can see in every social media, if we search awareness around women violence, we will see, but if you don't put into practice, what is the use of putting the awareness? Let us not put into practice those awareness. First, we can start it from our own home itself. Let us teach our own sons and daughters first, so that they can know. When we teach, they learn more. Just by seeing, we just see it and then we forget it. But let us, wherever you are today, wherever it is, let us firstly teach our own sons and daughters. And also, whenever we take any kind of decisions regarding women's violence, to end this violence, let us also include men and boys. Those men and boys, they can also be part of this. They can be the allies, they can be the advocates to stand for the women's rights. And if we start from our own family, from our own society, we can make a better future. And there are many places, many cultures, many society practice those cultures that women doesn't have the rights to speak up. Let us spread the awareness in every places, even in remote places, where women have the rights. And women issues is not the only women issues, it is the human rights issues. Then together we can make a bright future if we give more rights to women, where in future every individual can live freely with respect and dignity. Thank you.
Serial number 13.
Good afternoon, respected judges and everyone present here. My name is Muso Sang from Bethesda College of Nursing. Firstly, I would like to thank the organizing committee for giving me this opportunity to stand and talk on the theme, but unite to end violence against women. When we say violence, it is the intentional use of force, physical or psychological, threatened or actual, to an individual, oneself, or even to a group of persons. And when we say violence against women, it is an act which is gender-based, which results in or is likely to result in physical, psychological, or sexual harm or suffering to a woman. It can be at home or at workplace. Although it is violence against women, it doesn't necessarily have to be from a man. It can be from our own mothers or our friends, our in-laws, or even our family. So, and this violence occurs partly because of this gender inequality, where we tend to assume that men are more superior than us, and because of which even some women have this mentality that they are lesser than men or they have fewer rights than men, but that should not be the case. And seeing our community, where majority of us are Christians, it is very difficult to promote women empowerment because we have been taught that a woman must submit to her husband. But it is kind of true, but then we are abusing our beliefs. Like, yes, a woman should submit to her husband, but that husband should be worthy of that submission, which we often fail to see. And this is what we call spiritual abuse. And other than that, there are different types of abuse, which the most common ones are physical, sexual, and like I have mentioned, the spiritual abuse, using our beliefs to justify our action. And there can be financial abuse, where the woman is cut off from receiving any financial help. And there can be neglect also, where when we say neglect, it can be basic health needs which the woman needs, but she is rejected or cut off from her basic needs just because she's a woman. And then to end all this violence, the UN has come up with this campaign, Unite to End Violence Against Women. It was started in 2008 under the General Secretary, Ban Ki-moon, and it calls on the government, the society, the women organizations, the UN system, and everyone, you and I, including you and I, to come together and join forces to end this violence against women. It brings out the message that violence against women is not inevitable, it is preventable, and that every one of us have a role to end this, to put an end to this. And today, I brought this orange tower with me to show my support in the orange movement. I don't know whether we have heard of the orange movement or not, but it is a movement which fosters gender equality globally, and it advances in sustainability and diversity and inclusion. Orange is a bright and optimistic color, and it represents a future where there is no woman or girl abuse. And as my friends have stated earlier, the statistics, a woman is being assaulted every 10 minutes worldwide. And just as I'm standing here right now, a woman somewhere is being catcalled, harassed, or molested. And we all have a mother or a sister or a friend, a girlfriend, or even a wife. And imagine the person who is so dear to us being violated in any way. What can we do to stop that? Will we not want to put an end to those? So you might be thinking, me as a person, just a small person in this Lanka town, what can I do? But we'll get to that later. For bringing change globally, we have the policies have to be made at the national and the international levels. But where does that actually come into action? That is where you and I come in. Let me ask a question. How many of us present here say that I'm a man? Please raise your hand. Okay. Okay, then how many of you say that I am scared to walk at night? At night, not because of the darkness, but because you know that there is someone out there who can corrupt you of your dignity. Or how many of you say that you feel unsafe when you walk past a group of the opposite sex? I don't think even half of you can relate to that feeling, but that is what us women face every day when we walk past the streets or anywhere. So this movement calls us to come together, to come united, and to unite to end violence against women. Yes, we cannot prevent what is happening around the world or what our ongoing conflict is bringing to us, but we can start from ourselves, we can start from our homes, we can start teaching our kids so that our kids can teach our dear future kids, and that they can finally bring, or they can finally live in the future that we envision. And it will not be too late if we start now. It will not be too far away if we start now. And like 16-day activism said, it is time to act now. And I would like to end by quoting Martin Luther King Jr., "Returning violence for violence multiplies violence, or adding darkness to the night, devoid of stars. Hate cannot remove hate, but only love can." Thank you.
Serial number 15.
Good afternoon, respected judges and my fellow contestants. My name is Bin Samangur from TUIṭHAPHAI College, currently residing in America. So, to begin with the topic, unite to end violence against women. This is very important in today's content because it defines the structures of our development, justice, and respecting human dignity. This violence is not confined to just one particular reason, culture, or classes. but it transcends all those boundaries and affect millions and millions of women, even little girls around the world. What can we do to end this violence? According to WHO, 1 in 3 women globally experience physical or sexual abuse in her lifetime. And these aren't just numbers, they are life filled with pain, fear, and silence. Violence against women takes many forms: sexual abuse, online abuse, domestic abuse, even sexual harassment, and even honor-based violence. And today I want to inspire us to build no despair and recognize the power we have to change this narrative. Firstly, let us address the root of violence, inequality, and harmful social practice. It is crucial that we know empowerment begins with education. By grooming the child, teaching and giving education about respect, consent, and equality, we can dismantle the toxic attitude that perpetuate violence. Let me share a concrete real-life example about the violence and the gravity of the issue. In India, Jyoti Singh was brutally assaulted on March 2012. Her death sparked massive protests and led to a significant impact reforms in the country. But despite this effort, some violence still continues in the country. And in the United States, survivors like Taruna Group and others formed the hashtag #MeToo movement. And they have courageously spoken about sexual harassment and assault, setting systematic abuse in the industry worldwide. And even recently we can spot one video that's viral about one guy beating a lady probably after the church because she was embarrassed like this. And I don't even want to watch the whole video because there was the same for a man. And these are just 3 examples that happens millions and millions worldwide every now and then. So, secondly, we must strengthen legal frameworks. Governments should enforce the law that protect women, hold perpetrators accountable, and supporting survivors. Justice must not be delayed, and it must never be forsaken. It must never be denied. As an individual, what can we do? We must listen to the survivors because their voice carries the weight of experience and the power to inspire changes. Let us first create a favorable environment where women can speak without fear and receive the support they need to rebuild their life. Unity is our greatest strength. Men, women, and even young people alike have a role to play in this fight. As this violence and discrimination perpetrated from time immemorial, it is a very challenging task to eliminate it, but it's not impossible. Men must stand as allies, challenging stereotypes and speaking out against violence. Community must come together to create a safe environment for young women or even a young adult woman to thrive. Because she's your friend, she's your sister, she needs you. And it is your responsibility. Her suffering on violence and discrimination is not acceptable and it must cease to exist forever. Mutual respect for everyone, ending violence against women requires unified collective from individuals, community, organizations. By working together, we can build a world where women are no longer subjected to violence and where they are comparable to men. And where they can live with dignity, equality, and respect. It is a multi-dimensional challenge, and it takes a comprehensive approach, and the time for action is now. And let us unite in this critical mission. Thank you very much.
Serial number 14.
Good morning, all respected judges, and good morning, everyone out there. I am Tlapang Waikulate. I'm currently pursuing my BSc at Georgia College, and today I'm here standing in front of you to speak on the topic united violence against women. The word violence sounds scary, right? a world which has no violence against, a world without the word violence somehow, I'm sorry, I'm too tired. A world without the word violence somehow sounds like a paradise. You may ask, have you ever gone to the paradise? No, I have not gone to the paradise, but I have ever seen its beauty through movies like Hollywood, and I can imagine its beauty from the pastor's preachings and the church elders' preachings. A world which has no violence against women will be rich in peace, freedom, prosperity, and happiness. Violence against women and girls includes physical, sexual, psychological, and economic abuse. Many cultures have beliefs, norms, and social institutions that legitimize and therefore perpetuate violence against women. And violence against women is a global outrage. The experience or threat of violence affects the lives of women everywhere, cutting across boundaries of wealth, race, and culture. In the home and in the community, in times of war and peace, women are beaten, raped, mutilated, and killed with impunity. Effects of violence can be devastating to a woman's reproductive health as well as to other aspects of our mental and physical well-being. Here are some steps to be taken in order to end violence against women. Explore the relationships between violence against women and poverty and discrimination and militarization. Highlights the responsibility of the state, the community, and individuals for taking action to end violence against women. Each and every individual has the power to end violence by empowering women. And let's have a look at to the Indian Constitution. According to the article, let's have a look at the Indian Constitution. Article number 13 to 35, that is the fundamental rights. In the article number 14 of the Indian Constitution, it states that all people, including women, have equal rights and protection under the laws of India's territorial jurisdiction. I strongly believe that this law must be applied equally to all citizens. And to my fellow women out there, I want to tell you that love doesn't abuse you. Love will not harm you. And love will treat you with respect. Love shows kindness and it stands up for the right things. And my fellow human beings, let's teach our children to respect a woman, to be a real man. Real men don't hit or abuse women. Be a man and respect women. And for my last point, the best protection a woman can have is courage. the ability to fight for your rights, and that is the best protection a woman can have. Thank you.
competition to come and he so in the doing freshman break oi thi ne na chun ages high the back high seat la to choose our prize distribution they need to come to home soup for chu no ai dan chu su ba chu lai hitting le hitting chu deve ve pa tu no ma chu sin la to ke break ne ka 10 minutes break so unlock sendiri price distribution ini semua ini oleh ini just tak hai result kan si betul dah result puna ini given ini just hai le isuna media coverage to kembal le HSI untuk enjoy sila untuk progress sila untuk maybe sila mai tak ini isu just sila rumah ane pembeka tetap karena ini begini long tu relay rumah isu ini ane pembeka buat long tu dari rumah semua ini begini sila tu ai thấy đây là bạc anh em ví dụ như với số tiền vì lo mà không thì anh nào hay anh em bảo là mà cái ta thì anh với cái chính quy đồ nó anh thì mình thì xin về về chỗ thì lại cái president Jose San mà không biết xin là cam bảo nó lên cho biết xin là sai thì biết là mất Mustaka, how to do choice song at the university. Florence, how to do Florence question. How babies old media coverage with public from one the president no the kaka HSL to chop by no important and they to long to real laugh and baby they jail ya low India mà lâu đi phạm bao đâu các bạn lòng tất cả những người mình bị khát cần bị xe này thì cho cái sự là tu luyện ra sai nhưng mà nếu sự luôn tối thì anh này chỉ lại bị
Suat lalu cuma mau kata sila mungkin judge Wesun di sana jangin di kadir di sana jangin judge di di patung in di sablin HSA TUINHAPHAI mungkin ini judge di lain minggu tu kan musyrik di sini Wesun milo ngai thì là English không có bằng dễ dễ tiếng Anh Wesun judging criteria khati ngay thì sai kan lo en na chun in prepare chapelin kan shila participants hai ko ka hung congratulate kum chewa asan chu hun in clear card taka ti ngay thì khang ang ideas chatak takel I tu hin topic theme mangin
unite to end violence against women the team mga inhung brought up high ka atake kopela in preparation ko kan congratulate nung sewa July zing jun kan lo judge da clam pui criteria high to social day na content sa high asan jo I foreign language no mga ta any martung tan mo lekhan foreign language hung pang lekhan I grammar mani lo thay lo kam ang language ka hung judge ka tu ta jun tu ta speaking ani lein teenage speech take ani lein in stage performance high kom ka nagi khanai chan ma ma ho to bai rai to khan athe ni jun jo en lovin edi amo khang ai ram kha stage performance kind scene la in contents in speech in him kha su ma khan in shil bi hai bo kom ka in body language hai kom khan scene la kha bo kom ka elo ena achawong zing la in scene la mo future ani la I advice ni nge kan hung shil mum jo contents in pong khan chu acha mo lo prepare na khan nei kom khan lo cha the given more time lo be kan ni chon nisin la hom mitan takin lack ti nge ti kha cha chu ania stage presence kha mo kha I ma ti tong kom nisin la mi pui tam tak tu ta mi hi take this as a foundation mo take this as a foundation when you go outside and perform asan chu mi hingang til initiative hang la khai participate hai in any courage ka ni til da pe ya chu ka chun ma ti no hai kom kan voice suna lo tho indigno angani lo tho chel hai kom ka next time hai improvement na din khan mang ding ani ni chu content sa hai khan chu lo okay ya sin na kom stage presence performance sa hai khan lo min khan khan mo confidence akar tham chu kita kayak ini lumur lah ay duk atia ay tidak kong kan mo mi muding kan so fell fighter ano alle courageous deu kan mo make the intimate talo 18 na nilawin ana so courageous deu more brave kan mi la yang muding kan so performance hay kan next time hay to kakating pang kan chang kung lana sang na mo tutun masatin kan income to ka hung shil tung tano ani sila kung kay suna competition to ani there will be winners first second third to AC ma ni sila kung you all are winners katin mo mali so asan so to come out here and stand in front of a crowd it takes courage mo tutun you all are winners first second third high kung ka congratulate mo ma ni sila kung in training kita ka even participate in ka congratulate sewa 12 kela kati an khan hi a competition ting bagel khan ilawin enjoy the process so ke cafe da tlang pui ani ni so in ai tho ani khoma competition so life to ding ani ni mo ana chu khela khan enjoy the process mo kha ngamni ko voisuna hilaya ri perform mai ko ko ka in point in ti kom karenga judge kom in point kan tia mo to next time I come hi foundation in ramin da mun da high competition na ram da high competition na in public speaking kom in la ne hun kom undi to pa khama thine an salem no sula tham in hun na kha any judges high na to ka lom te thine te advice kan hun pe che misin na kan lom tak zet ani the organizers high ko competition na hilaya voisuna ko ma in hun ru tak takin hun in plana ke ni judge ninga thine te in hun feel na rin kan lom tak zet ani ni ti jo rom te ha kan chhe ro set ko lo me
home just I popo I way ultimate choice of the two should be thang hai ka thu dong hai ka ta ka pursuit to mating pa yan ABC tuin price sen ta ka tamay ta kambal ran kam vaccine na chun puse free side of president agency TUIṭHAPHAI vaccine la competition at Chanka me so Papa so Bali like Kalayan to can be competition na dili kapakat na panina pasun na kamadot to dalam si kaamay da just ay kung ko mas ka kita dai we so in team senga it is a TUIṭHAPHAI important to in book chang kan long de ilai activity kan bu se apoi trin ni chun a competition a TUIṭHAPHAI ka apoi ma kale kan ke activity ko na di ma ilai in pe su ri ba kan ta it is a ta ni chun no mong ta de ni ti kha amasan ka ila apakat na an to patuna musuklang kata public speaking competition apakat na latuju Miss Talita Zarzo mo Batesla apa ni na ultim lang kong pagkata sa nailan sa apa ni na Mr. Wing Samuel ni Fimate kung patong na Miss Vung Zobzal Batesla kung nabakat na Miss Talita Zarzo mo yung sila i-president yung rana certificate ka ay painting niya biro so laso brilliant na knowledge kan nakilay ang nandang kanina Mr. Vincent Patung na Miss Bungzoza Tesla College of Arts.
Tôi tin rằng sẽ làm public speaking thì HSC history là cho trang của lịch sử mà tôi học nên được sinh ra thì start các chỗ này là đối thủ sa mình thì mình cũng là tâm biệt của Sun preparation and duration of like 5-6 days only later. Anak coba sun incapacity hai wa incapability hai wa lo ko tiai chan pam talu da kini hun lai kini kan school kai kan college kai lai ni sin na so ni IS ni ka so tuan ni sin la asil ling kong ka point sai lo ka ini kan mong ling ka si lo ko mana miru coba suna etil to alo kina AGS na pinang leo kan point chatak tak le di YouTube channel ang lo bina na nakipa pala ko pa ay post na lo subscribe sa ko kita matik pe rus ay kung lo yan ta jun iba ni dia chan pe pama even channel ang galing rus ay even big pa in collective na ile kan pa in thil cha in thil sa to lai minute point sai on folk view kuma matik pe ai anong go to the video kung omel thei ka ha roasting ai ro hai kan rilong de kan ka matik pe omel to ding ni ta chun kum no women ti pe ken lo topic na ka public speaking ila to pe din ya person kom be job de jin da ka memorial wall mga tugnan da job for live studio so kui wa to itu bana biru job ani ka engagement na ro re kan e to te ka ano public speaking ke awal tan lo atan na chaw re te ke ke ka no ka ni lo prepare pe ta sun ma tong ko ma public speaking kai lo to pe ding english ko no ta kan ye asam cho any lady na kita itu san ko ni mai ba enjoyment in participate enjoy patale paisa nak ke kari ka point was stage performance ko nei ke e pui ke ta lo ri me ye matik pe lo to ding ni le it sang na sang na an je wa chun matik e thop pe phat ko thang nok pe ni ko feel bok je ne lo ba
Kanan a program cho a zo ting ni sila HSC TUIṭHAPHAI zo headquarter le rules mimi ang Shanghai po po le sai le ilai na ko chang kyer lo control to le Waisuna Sound Ting Silla Motakin Villa Umalso Sound Chumalom Tuela Inmu Champe Inmu Upmoy Inmu Suputin Beka along the Java HSA YouTube Pajam Badar Martin Beko activity Nena HSA Umrifuzinga HSA program Hai Tang Sending Afit Sila Hangane program is of the